Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to your March 2019 Lenormand Spread. Welcome back. I'm Jade, and this is Yes, Yes, Yes. If you are new to the channel, welcome. We're going to do a different kind of reading today. We're going to use the Lenormand deck, and there are 36 cards. I'm going to lay them all out, and we're going to do what's called the Grand Tableau. This is a general read for sun, moon, and rising signs. So if this is not totally resonating, feel free to check out one of the other videos and see if there is a full view. This is one of the most accurate readings I give as an individual reading. So as a general, it can, again, little bits little bits will resonate. Sometimes you get really lucky though. I want to give you a card from the Gabby Bernstein deck. I love her. When I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. So what we're looking for here is faith and certainty, knowing that whatever we believe is going to happen is truthfully what is going to happen. That's how the world will reveal itself, the way in which it's like putting on rose-colored glasses, if that's how you want to see the world. And then this is the Mike Dooley deck. You have more options than you realize. Okay, Sagittarius, let's see what's going on. All right, so if you're feeling this at any time, please drop a comment in the box below. If you want to have a personal reading, I've got my information. My website is there. And hitting that like button, that's the easiest and the best thing you can do for me. It helps the channel out so much, and I just love hearing from you. So let's see where we're beginning for Sag for March. All right. So I'm going to lay the cards down and we'll go from there. We have the moon, the book, and the letter, the rider, and there's the masculine, the fish, the coffin, and the bear. Okay, everything's being seen. The birds, the snake, the scythe, there's the feminine, the tower, the key, there's the ring, and the stars. The anchor, the birds, the whip, the lily, the house, the child, the clover, and the tree. Last line is the park, the bouquet, the cross, the clouds, the ship, the mountain, the paths or the crossroad, and the dog. Okay, and then the four, the sun, the heart, the fox, and the mice. All right. So first thing is we're beginning with intuitive needs, going into our emotions, and so this could be very internal, and then we're going to a place of loyalty. So maybe this is about loyalty to self. We'll see. The masculine, this is your present line. All of this is your future. This is your past. Feminine, you're very close. This is your present line. This is your past. And that is your future. And give me a moment. I'm going to count and see if any of the cards are in their houses. Okay, so it looks like the stars are in their own house. So the star is a card of notoriety. It's also a card of destiny, dreams, beginnings and endings. So when we have the stars in its own house, it's really about making sure that we're doing things in moderation. And the reason why I say that is because if you think about the star, stars in general, they have this energy that burns, and they begin, right? They begin with energy, and then they go out because they have a lack of energy. So just be aware that your energy is in moderation, that you're not burning yourself out, that that you're putting your energy in places where you're going to be able to gain energy back, right? You're not just wasting it and putting it out there in the world. Hope that makes sense for you, Sag. So let's see what more comes up, okay? We're going to start up here. Here's our intuition. This is our emotions. This is, again, past. So we had some kind of intuitive, or it could be an emotional secret that might have come out in a form of writing. So that would be emails, letters, literal letters even, texts, books. I got a feeling like, like a magazine. Sometimes those terrible magazines can put those truths out there. Now, some type of emotional secret came out in the past, and those kind of things happen. There were some people who were involved that I'm glad they're in your past. Somebody who might have actually brought that to the forefront, who really might have not been looking out for you, Sag. They were really looking out for themselves. They were really hoping that it was going to be something they would profit from or benefit from. But I'm actually seeing that it all works out. It seems to work out for you. There is some change that happens. Let me go back. Okay. So some kind of secret came out in the form of writing in the past. It brought things to the forefront. So if this is a couple, right? If you're already in a relationship, this is something that brought information to the masculine. So feminines, there was a secret that came out that the masculine found out about. And what it did was it changed the way in which he might have been, or that it's changing the way that he might feel connected to you in commitment, right? He's going to a place where he's removing himself emotionally. So just be aware of that. Now, if this is people, Sagittarius, you don't have anybody in your eyesight, right? You're not in relationship. So what's happening is when this secret is told, or whatever this information is, when it comes out, it actually brings you to knowing this person, okay? That brings you to knowing each other. Okay, and what's happening specifically for the masculine here is that this is usually finances, right? The fish are usually finance, but it can also be in abundance. So we could be talking about too much information, and that too much information has made a change in him, caused him to kind of retreat to himself, kind of back down, or when I say back down, actually I mean retreat kind of into a cave. I'm seeing as the bear here. He's looking for his own personal power, and probably wanting to stick away. If this is drama, right? People can retreat from that drama. So just know, masculine, there might have been some drama that has been up in the past, and in the future, what's happening is that it's too much. You're kind of feeling overwhelmed. You want to end that feeling. You want to transform it. So what you're going to do is go into your power and remove yourself from the situation. Kind of go icy, okay? That's what I'm seeing. So for the feminine, specifically in this line, but again, this is everyone's past. We've got this gossip, and this is where, the secret, this thing that came out, and it came out quickly. So let me see what the secret might have been. It's tough to know because these are really general cards underneath it. Okay, well, I mean, again, we're talking about it's an emotional connection of some sort that came out. I'm going to move on, and if it comes out as I keep going, then we'll talk about it. So what I'm seeing is that the secret came out because somebody else wanted to take specifically the feminine Sagittarius down a notch. This could be gaslighting. It could be something where it's not even the truth. It's just something that someone has made up. Someone is creating a drama, right? And it's just to try to take Sagittarius down a notch. Now, Sag, you don't deserve that. Sagittarius, you are the most generous because you are so abundant that you are generous in your abundance. Your cup floweth over. Overfloweth, I guess is the term. So this person who might have been jealous, who might have just, wanted to get what Sagittarius has. Maybe there was a connection to this other person and they just didn't want you to have, I don't know. But there's something here just in the near past where there was some kind of secret that came out that this other person told, and it came out fast, and it was trying to cut you down. You see how the scythe is pointed straight to the feminine. Now, here's what happens from there. The feminine might have removed herself as well. The Tower card is usually Mercury in retrograde. Give me some slack. The Tower is usually a card of organizations, corporations, higher learning, something large, right? But it's also literally, I look at it as literally a tower where you can remove yourself, you can go into isolation. Just like the masculine is going into isolation, taking on this character, the feminine herself could actually pull herself in isolation, and that might be the right choice, so that she can commit to not burning herself out. Again, it seems like Sagittarians, you might need to pull back just a bit so that you don't burn yourselves out. That's what we were talking about initially, is that the energies with the star, you have the potential to burn so brightly that you shorten the time span of your brightness. All right, so moderation is what this reading is kind of talking about. Nobody likes to hear that. Sagittarius, I'll say honestly, I feel like there's no scarcity in the world for you. You can have as much as you want. Just know that you can overdo, you can overindulge, you can also overgive, right? Sacrifice so much, give so much of yourself that you haven't any left. I know many Sages who do that. So just keep that in mind. I'm not trying to tell you to do anything. I'm just giving you the advice that the cards are telling me. All right, third line. Here we go. In the past, there was a stable new beginning, and that had to do with, it could have been something saucy in the past. Sometimes when I see these cards together, I look at them, could be like a sexual card, but there's really not much beyond that. So what I'll say is that there could be just a new beginning and thinking about long-term development, and this could be legacy. There is the love card here, so what you may know each other, right? If this is a couple that already exists, we've talked a little bit about what's going on. Maybe you both need to retreat. Specifically for the feminine, I feel like there's this love feeling that's pushing up from underneath here. It's a little confusing for you, but it's definitely triggering something that could be a long-term and stable feeling with this masculine that's coming in. So if you've just met, it might be a little confusing. It might be the early stages, but there seems to be some good promise here. Now, we're talking about this home card, and there might be a movement of home, and it might be due to you needing to, again, take care of yourself. It could also be a career choice. So there's some options coming up, and it could just be a houseboat. Maybe you have a houseboat. But what's coming up here is that it's telling me that there's a stability that we're moving towards, and that stability could be with a child in your home that's very blessed, and also there's some health, there's some, again, family legacy and long-term roots that are being laid. So it's nice to see all of these cards kind of all together, because what that tells me is that there's stability in the home. If there are children, the children are well looked after and healthy, and that everyone actually in the home seems to be healthy and blessed, because that luck card is there. Now, we're coming from, again, remember we talked about how we've got a lot of the negative cards in the past, which I like that. So there was a little bit of challenge to get there, but right now it seems like you're just trying to sort out this feeling of love and connection, perhaps with this person you've just met, and this unfolding is coming forward. Now, if you don't have children, maybe you have your eye on having children. I do see that there's a connection between both the masculine and the feminine with a child. So it's possible that either or have a child, or that the two will have a child together in the future. That's, again, quite a hard road a long road ahead. But when I'm looking at the connection here, the same path that they both have that connection to that child. This could be an adopted child, or the other thing about children, this child card, is that it could be a new beginning. This is kind of like the Fool card, right? So it's a new beginning. So there could be a new beginning in the home that portends all of this beautiful, lush development where roots are being put down and there's a lot of health and happiness. So that's great news. Okay, fourth line, here we go. In the past, we've had some community support, which is great, and it looks like it might have to do with a religious organization even. So maybe you had, or it could have been actually, the community could have been so involved in your life, maybe supporting you through whatever this secret is that came out, that it became burdensome, like you had to continue to tell the story over and over again. There was so much coming up for you. People would check in. It was great, but then it became 10 check-ins and 20 check-ins daily. Having to explain and re-explain can become burdensome. So this whole thing might have come out based on a religious organization, but it also could have just been something that kind of shook down in the community. And even though you were supported, even though it seems like everything's kind of working out, you're going to take care of yourself by pulling yourself out of the drama, because there's a burden here. And I think that's where the confusion is you have to remove yourself from the situation sometimes in order to get the truth, right? To see things as they truly are. I'm trying to pull back. So, when I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. So that could be, again, what you're doing is you're removing yourself so that you could really look at how things are and then decide how you want to see them, okay? So right now there's a little bit of confusion, and I'll say that probably for the masculine as well. Now we are moving, again, we've got another, there's a bit of a challenge here with the mountain. It's another card of isolation, but it's a slow moving card, right? The challenge is that you have to climb up this hill and get to the other side, climb up the mountain basically and get to the other side. And what it's showing me is that any kind of movement forward, any kind of travel, any type of new journeying is just going to be an arduous one. There's going to be choices, and you will be supported by your friends, right? Your friendship will be on the other side of this. A deeper friendship will be on the other side of this. So let's say this was a friend, things came out, you had to remove yourself to decide how you really wanted to view this drama. It's going to take a little bit of time to work through, but then on the other side, you're going to choose if and you have the ability to have a really deep and loyal friendship with a person. If it's this person, they've got to have some changes. You've got to have some forgiveness, and that's up to you if you want to make that choice. I'm feeling like this is not the same person. I'm feeling that it's really you getting closer to your loyalty for yourself in the future, okay? So, we've got definitely some cards of isolation, trying to move forward, but you have to move forward by going within, by kind of going the harder road of doing things on your own. And I know that you're capable of this, Sag. Nobody enjoys this road, and it doesn't have to be for very long either. This could be just a weekend. You might have a lock-in for a weekend and do some, hardcore journaling. That could mean just what's going on. Usually I look at this as, I do these monthly because I like to turn the energy over at least monthly, all right? So finally, what we have here, just as a summation, we actually have the success and the success in loving the self, really taking care of the self. And the only thing that's burdening here is that these little doubts, okay? The little things that you let eat away at you will take all of this down, okay? It'll take down a house, it can take down, the mice can eat away at anything if you let them. So, and I look at these as doubts, as anxieties, as questioning. So when you are removing yourself to really get perspective on this drama, and if it's a couple drama, you guys remove yourself together. You go through this journey together to a place where you've become more loyal to each other. Okay, so whatever the secret is that tried to come out and break you two apart, that would be what I'm seeing here. In the end, you're going to get to a place where you're much more committed to each other and you've got some loyalty. There is success in loving the self, loving your cunningness, right? Loving the ability that you have to take care of yourself over everyone else, okay? And don't let the doubts eat away at you, okay? Again, if you are singles, this love and this self-care is right underneath, okay? So remember, that's the secret. And I feel like I just got this with Aries too. So maybe fire signs are going through something similar where it's about self-care first before the love can come in, okay? So really taking care of and acknowledging the self and the heart space, really digging into what it is that you need, not this drama. Like, get rid of that, of course. Pulling yourself away, to really get the perspective so that you can feel and recommit to yourself even. So recommitting to the ability for you to take care of yourself. There's a lot of success there. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Sag. So when you lean on certainty and faith, you change your mind about the world you see. So take that time that you need, removing yourself, to really decide what you want your life to be, because you have more options than you realize. And when we remove ourselves, that's when we can really see all of the options that present themselves to us. So that's what I have for you. Let me know in the comments if this resonates. These are, general, but I try to touch on so many different things that it can be a really interesting reading. I hope you really enjoyed it. Hit that thumbs up button for me. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Thanks, Sag.